We had like a Looney Tunes vinyl record when I was growing up that had like the Looney Tunes characters singing songs.
Yeah.
Or like changing the lyrics. I don't know, but there was one where Elmer Fudd was like, "Hello, mother. Hello, father. How's my darling baby brother?" And I'll always remember that.
There's I don't know why we have it, but like in the Absolutely sound effects library, we have the Hanna-Barbera sound effects library.
Oh shit.
But I'll send it to you because
I would
it
love
feels
to
like
have
something
that.
you should probably have. But it also came with like answering machine messages that you can play. And like they're all like, "Hey, it's Fred Flintstone." No! We'll play one right here.
Speaking of which, I have a bunch of great voicemails because I have my my phone number on one of my YouTube videos. My one where I made my own currency, I put my phone number in and I was like, "Call me and invest in Ember Bucks." And so every week I get a voicemail from someone who's like, I want to invest in Ember Bucks. Okay, bye.
That's like exactly what somebody should be saying if you're calling a number that you're seeing in a comedy sketch. Did you ever get in trouble for any of that stuff you did, like because you put pasta sauce, you put your own label on pasta?
I stocked my sauce. No, I did not get in trouble. But what's interesting is Bobby and I hit like 7 Ralphs in the same day. We just like went between them and like stocked our sauce. And by like the 5th Ralphs, we started to get sketched out. And I don't know if we were making it up or if we were actually being like stalked by employees, but employees were just like always in the sauce aisle.
Like you think they're
ring,
communicating
ring.
Between the Ralphs, like, we saw these 2 homos at the last Ralph's, and they were in the sauce
the last
aisle.
Ralph. It's singular if it's just one.
Also, by the way, a grocery store named Ralph's. Like
You're asking for it.
Like they might as well call it Yaks.
I wish they called it Yaks.
Yeah.
That's in the Hanna-Barbera universe.
Oh, that was so cool when you did that. That was like when I saw you doing that, that was like one of the times where it was like, I quietly resent that person.
Well, I love
think
you very
they are
much.
so funny.
If we had been friends, you would have been in the video. I would have asked you to give a testimonial, and in fact, we should do it again.
Yeah. No, you and I should make content for many years to come.
For many years to come.
I'm Vera Drew.
And I'm Ember Knight.
And welcome to
Jackass!
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass.
Bum.
We're back.
We're fucking back, yeah. I mean, technically, we came back today. This will air next week. It's so hard to be a time traveler.
Yeah, time just isn't real anymore, you know? Like during this pandemic, I sound drunk. Time just isn't real anymore.
We just don't know.
But it isn't. Like, it isn't between the pandemic, between how much I get triggered, like my PTSD gets triggered now. I'm just like fucking floating through the ether of space. And like I miss appointments and I'm just like, I didn't even know. What's an appointment?
Yeah. I relate to that. Each day seems like many days or not a whole day. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm back in an office type setting.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, because I'm editing on season 2 of I Think You Should Leave.
Congratulations. That's very fun.
It's really fun. It's like the most fun I've had editing in a while.
Would you say that I am as funny as that show?
Yeah. I think you should be on that show.
I think so too.
It doesn't pay well though.
I don't care.
I hope Tim Robinson doesn't see this.
I hope he does. Hello, Tim.
He knows it doesn't pay well. He's signing those checks.
And I'll take it.
But it's...
What? Bobby says the guest is ready, so I guess the podcast police are knocking
in the
at
middle,
the door.
Yeah.
This is the first fun we've had all day.
Excuse me.
We're finally feeling okay. I'm sorry, officer.
Open that door.
Okay, I'm putting on my pants.
We have an influencer that wants to be on the podcast.
I just like to pee.
It is 1 minute after you said that this person would be on the
I
podcast.
Finished peeing.
Great producing, Bobby. That's what we should be saying.
Do you know what
right
the bit
now.
that I was doing? Do you remember that Eminem song?
No.
When he's like, I just like to pee. He's being Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, but also jerking off to the Olsen twins.
I don't remember this.
And the cops keep arresting him because he's jerking off, and he's like, I just like to pee. I'm peeing.
Was this like a spoken word thing on an album?
No. Well, I mean, he's a rapper, so technically it is all spoken word. But he sang the chorus, but then, the verses are in rhyme.
I've never heard that one.
What do you mean, freeze? I'm not finished peeing. I have needs.
We should try to get Triumph on the show.
Oh my God, Dino knows him. We should.
I bet he would do it.
He should do it.
Robert Smigel, if you're
Smigel,
watching.
You're hired.
You're hired, Smigel.
We don't pay well. Just like my good friend Tim Robinson.
That's what we call a callback.
Okay, well, let's zoom our guest in.
Horse fart.
Fart.
Write that
Horse
down.
fart. I wrote it down.
Write down horse
I
fart.
wrote it down. All right, well, welcome. Please give a warm welcome to our guest, Kerrie, of the very cool account Today Was My Birthday on Instagram. Hello, Kerrie, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. I mean, Jackass is soothing to me. I feel like I'm in a good space right now. How can you be mad?
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
I've been in such a rotten mood for weeks, and I think it's because we were on hiatus. I forgot how much I love this show.
Yeah, it's soothing.
There is also just like something in the air right now. I feel like everyone's in a little bit of a funk, so I think Jackass might be what's going to get us out of it.
It's what's for dinner.
Yeah, if you're out there and you're angry at me, or you feel like cutting me off, or
Please don't.
including me in your manifesto, just watch Jackass instead, please. Did you watch the show when it was on?
So Jackass, when it was on TV, was the Taboo show. It was the show that we went over to our family friend's house because I just had an older sister, but we would go to the family friend who, it was two boys and they were older. And one of them would either put on wrestling or Jackass. And it was like that guilty pleasure of like, ooh, we're going to sneak into the game room and watch Jackass.
Oh, yeah. The things that I watched in the game room of the older boys that I knew really shaped who I am. You know, it was like eBaum's World videos and like South Park.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was going to say was eBaum's World. Like, I don't think if you didn't watch End of Z World in like some stranger or like adjacent stranger's bedroom, it wasn't right.
Then who are you? I remember like going home to the family computer and like going on to eBaum's World and like finding the videos that they had showed me and being like, these are the best videos, and like not even fucking with any other thumbnail.
What was like, because like I remember looking at eBaum's World, and I remember like looking at like Something Awful. Like, what were the videos back then though? I feel like I smoked all my memories away from that period of my life.
It was like End of Z World, Sh55.
Oh, Sh55. I remember Sh55.
Yeah, there was also a really I remember it was right after 9/11, but there was like a really dark one that did not age well. And I feel like with the nods there, you guys know.
I feel like most of these were like 9/11 era, like Flash animation was one of the products.
Yeah.
Of 9/11.
And somehow so pro-American. Like that's not what you get on Flash animation anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point. Like, I feel like some of the first memes I ever saw were like, it was like the new design for the World Trade Center, and it was like a middle, like 3 World Trade Centers forming a middle finger. Like,
Yeah.
that's I feel like not enough people are talking about this. That is really where memes started. And people are so surprised, like the alt-right weaponizes memes. Like,
That's what memes is.
yeah.
It's all about being a true patriot.
I mean, and like, I feel like because I come from that world too, I see the other side of it where I'm like, oh no, like it's absolutely that. Like that still totally exists and it's so unfunny. And then you get like the alternative version of it where it's people dunking on that and it's almost more satisfying. Like I feel like it's like a cheese that has aged to fruition where like finally we've come full circle. We can make fun of that again.
Yeah. Yeah, and it seems like you're using your memes for good. You're not reinforcing colonialist ideas about America or anything like that.
Or the wrong way to pronounce 55.
Yeah, that was really the most offensive thing from my childhood was 55. Shiggity schwash, 55.
Are you ready, baby?
Girlfriend's
All
age,
right.
55.
My IQ?
55.
You must pay.
We're the first people to talk about 55 in 20 years.
If anyone ever asked me to DJ any event, that's what would come on first, and I would never be asked again.
I'm playing it at the next rave.
That's actually more lines of that song than I remembered prior to, and like now it's gonna be in my head for way longer than I wanted it to be.
Welcome to Jackass.
Ember and I are the real virus. We infect people's brains.
And on that note,
did you have a favorite bit tonight?
did I have a favorite bit tonight? Did I have a favorite bit tonight? Let's see, what was my favorite bit tonight? And the favorite bit that I liked tonight was Johnny and Spike. I liked when Johnny wanted to just take a couple of French fries.
Oh, when John... yes.
Okay, so this was probably the first one on the show when we've seen the old person makeup, and Johnny. I almost said Johnny Depp. Johnny Knoxville.
That would be cool too. Be a lot more scarves on the show if Johnny Depp was also on the show.
It's just it's two beautiful brunette men.
Yeah.
They both got dressed up in old person makeup, and Johnny and a woman named Dottie Barnett went into
the gem.
Huh?
The gem of the bit. Dottie is the best part.
I loved her.
She's what sells it.
No spike
otherwise
necessary.
you're seeing like a young man in kind of makeup in public, but as soon as you've got a genuinely elderly woman with him, it's believable.
Yeah. And I also think we watched, I can't remember which bit it was, but we watched one where it might have been Dottie was kind of like naysaying the bit. I can't remember. Do you remember which bit that was?
She was telling him not to.
But it worked this time. Her because he was like just telling people their ass looked good.
Like men
and women.
That's a lovely tush. That's a lovely tush.
And she'd say that don't be such a dirty old man. Don't do that.
Stop
that
it.
like actually helped.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Like normally, I don't know, like I feel like that would maybe step all over the bit, but I feel like that's the only way they were able to get away with Johnny sexually harassing
If
people.
she hadn't reined him in, it would have been unbelievable.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I liked when he ate the French fries. He was like, I just want a couple of these fries. And he just took someone's French fries.
I feel like I would let him do it though. Like if I was at a restaurant and an elderly man came up and like was like, can I have some? I'd be like, I guess that's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Like, yeah. I'm not going to fight this man for these French fries.
Yeah. I feel like, I if any old people are watching and you see me out in public, like, feel free to steal food off my
take
plate.
my food.
You earned it. Greatest generation.
Just talk to me.
Unless you're Johnny Knoxville dressed up like an old man or Spike Jones.
Is a real old man now, so it's not going to take a lot of makeup.
I think that even if Johnny Knoxville came up, like I have pretty low standards. I think that a young person, someone who looks like they have money, it doesn't even matter to me. Like if you take food off my plate, I'm just going to be like, you're right. You are stronger than me.
Yeah.
I would just be happy that someone was interacting with me. I would just be happy I left my house today.
Yeah. You go to restaurants and just say to people, please steal my food, sir.
Hello. Come over here. I liked that. And I also liked when, I did like when Spike was shopping for sunglasses and was asking for something contemporary and handsome.
Spike? Like, why is Spike so good at this? Like Spike is better at this than he... Like, I mean, I think Spike is one of the greatest directors of our time.
Absolutely.
But, like, this is really what he should be doing professionally.
Well, see, he was bad at it in the movies. Do you remember when he was an old lady in the movies and he, like, didn't have any bits? He
had the one where the dress gets ripped off. And
that one was really good.
Was really
no,
good.
You're right.
And in this one was like... Because he's got that, like, he has an old person voice. I don't know how to describe it, but, like, like, he doesn't have to change it. Like, Knoxville kind of does this, like, oh, I'm going to grab your tush. Like, kind of.
That's a nice tush.
Yeah, like, kind of a caricature.
Lovely
like,
tush.
I mean, because it's Knoxville, so of course it's going to be, like, theatrical. But, yeah. Spike was really good in this.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I was surprised to see Spike as a male elderly person as opposed to like the standard where he does play an elderly woman extremely well. I think that's his inner self, is that like he gets to let something out in that moment. And like I think in general him playing elderly people, that's maybe why he like chooses to do those bits, is that like on the inside that's who he is.
Yeah.
He's just waiting until he gets to be that all the time.
There's an elderly female nudist in Spike.
Yeah, who's kind of horny, always horny. They are really hung up on like horny elderly people, which I get. Like, I get it.
I feel like elderly people are kind of elderly men. They don't lose their appetite. I mean, I don't like. It's kind of early in the show to maybe to go in this blue, but hey,
in
we're
we
here.
Go.
You know,
toot toot.
Like my grandfather, God rest his soul, was the filthiest. Like had no problem. You wouldn't have needed to get Johnny Knoxville. You would just put him. It would be sad though. It wouldn't be funny. It would just be an old man sexually harassing people.
That's true. I mean, my grandpa was getting wheeled into surgery to have part of his lung removed, and I remember my entire family was like, he was in good spirits going in, like he was flirting with the nurse.
They always say that.
See, okay, yeah, my grandma had COVID. She's fine now, so whatever. But they like let her go home early, and I was like talking to my mom on the phone. She's like, well, you know grandma, she's just so spunky, and she was ready to get out, and it's like, that means she was so rude to everybody that they didn't care about sending an elderly woman who just recovered from COVID back out in the world.
Get her out.
She's good.
Yeah.
She seems fine.
I would too. You know?
I think that is true. They always say that though with old men. They're like, if he's not sexually harassing someone, then he must be unwell. The man must be sick.
What are Zoomers gonna do when all the millennials grow up and become?
We literally won't know when to send them home from the hospital.
Yeah,
we just won't know because they're not pinching any tushes.
Yeah,
any lovely tushes.
Culture will be too respectful. I just want to hit this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I did love the full hand grab that Johnny Knoxville gives that man at the very end there.
You could
tell the least sensual ass grab I think I've ever seen.
The equality was wearing on him. He was like, I got to spread this out a little. And he just reached for a dude.
Yeah. And normally I would say like gender doesn't matter as far as sexual harassment goes. But I feel like, again,
I'm glad he did that.
I'm glad he did it. And the guy seemed fine with it. He complimented that one girl on her tits, and the guy she was with seemed really pissed off.
Yeah, but she was laughing.
Yeah. So that's
I think that her opinion probably matters more than his, because if he's offended, it seems like a proprietal thing.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
that's
you're
mine
touching
to
my
compliment.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he feels threatened by an old man, What does that say about you?
That's my lovely breasts.
on a different human's body.
Yeah. That's where I keep them. I put them over there. Shut up.
I'm so glad I don't sleep with men. I want to just hit this because then I won't have to turn my page back over just to hit this quick bit. But we ended the night with something that we're just calling horse fart. It was a part of, I think, the jousting bit that I think we've already watched on this show, but
at this time it was in isolation.
It was just a horse
just
farting for like 20 seconds straight.
A long fart.
Yeah, that, I mean, I love when you can hear a dog fart. I extra love like a horse fart. That is an impressive sound. Imagine how much like air was really on the inside that came out that tushy. Oh.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
It sounded, I mean, I thought it might have been sweetened, but like, what would be the point of sweeten? Like, I feel
the
like
tail was raised a little. I think it was real. I think it was real.
But that's even more fun. Like the fact that its tail was raised a little, like a fucking cartoon.
In my heart, that was just the noise that happened, and that's why they wanted to include it. But that's just in my heart. Like that's the same way that I wish that ghosts are real, where I'm like, ooh.
I think that the point of Jackass is that it's made to exist in your heart, because otherwise there's really no place for it in this world.
Well, yeah, and I think, you know, I don't really care that they add sound effects to things. I was just more curious because it was such an impressive like fart out of a horse. I grew up around horses, and I don't think I ever heard a horse fart once.
This might be stupid, but for some reason, because horses are so big, I thought the fart noise would be deeper, and it was like a high pitched.
That's not stupid at all.
You know,
I would assume that its hole would be bigger, and that it would be.
It would be like more like a trombone.
Yeah, like more of a.
Yeah.
That's
well, and then on top of that, it seems like there's not a lot of I always imagine that a fart is really amplified by the cheeks. The cheeks are bouncing together. They add the, you know, kind of noise to it.
Horses have cheeks though.
That's why it was treble though, because it was just coming out of the asshole. It was just the asshole fluttering.
But if you look at a horse's ass, they do also kind of, some of them have that would explain why it wasn't sweetened and why it was high pitched. I'm glad we talked about this at length, because this would have been something I woke up in the middle of the night and like still curious.
I did put on here like how much I took a couple notes, but the things that I was like very curious about, I was like, I can't believe how much science Jackass makes me ponder, because it's the science of the horse fart, but it's also the science of the ice block skates that really get me.
They attached them to the shoes, right?
I couldn't figure it out.
I think that they put screws into the ice blocks, but I had no idea. Like, this is somebody, I grew up in LA. I'm not around ice very much. I didn't know it slides on grass that easy.
Oh yeah. They've actually done several bits where there's bits where they just sit on a block of ice and go down a hill. Like, it's slippery as hell.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about these hill bits. Well, no, we figured it out last week that I had a repressed memory of going down a hill in a tube. But there's something about the ice in Bobby. I almost called you Billy. That would have been weird because your name's Bobby. But you could play like a flashback here. Speaking of Johnny Depp, Bam Margera had a really nice scarf.
A nice scarf
in a paintball bit that we watched today, where it was after Phil was getting off work and Bam just shot him with a bunch of paintballs.
Which is classic Bam, as far as like antagonizing his father, who seems to do nothing but love him.
Nothing but love him. Oh my God. I was really thinking about this today. I think about it every time with Bam when he fucks with his parents, but like, in order to be a Bam character, you must have people in your life who support you and love you so hard and are willing to be the mark for you over and over. Like, because otherwise you would just feel really bad for Phil and for Ape.
Yeah.
And it would just end very quickly. But the fact that they're so down allows that character to be in pop culture. Like, somebody has to be Elmer Fudd so that somebody can be Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And that's a huge sacrifice.
The angriest Phil gets is like, he just goes like, "This makes no sense." Like, that's that's about as far as it ever gets.
Which just seems like a critique of the bit at the end of the day. Like,
yeah.
He's like, "This isn't even a good bit. Why'd you hit me?"
Which is really good sport of him, because Bam literally does the same bit every time. He either wakes up Phil or he shoots Phil.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, Bam is the most like mid 2000s stylish of the crew. I would say that like he and Johnny Knoxville are like, they epitomize that generation of fashion between the two of them. And boy, oh boy, Bam kills it every time. But
I like actively rip off his fashion now. Like I bought like a Davy Crockett hat just because I saw him wearing one and I thought it looked cool.
That makes sense.
And he looks so good in a scarf. I don't know what it is, but like when that came up, I was like, good work.
I'm gonna be honest though, I think he needed the shot in the foot to start that bit off.
Yeah.
He needed to remember what that feels like before he shot his father 20 times.
Yeah, and in fact, the best part of the bit, he shoots himself in the foot before he goes and shoots Phil, and he goes, fuck. And then at the end of the bit, he's like, no, don't worry, Dad. I shot myself in the foot, and it felt like this. And then he shoots Phil in the foot.
Yeah.
And it felt like this.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's beautiful.
In so many ways, I feel like Bam is the youngest brother of the set.
Oh my
where
God.
He really loves to antagonize anyone in his wake, but he has a hard time taking it himself.
Oh, he cannot take it.
No. And like, he's tender. Everyone's allowed to be tender.
Yeah.
We need a tender one. You need the contrast.
Honestly, he and Knoxville both, they can't have, if somebody plays a prank on them, they do not find it funny.
Yeah.
They can't take it.
But Bam's also like a little kid in the way that like he's like, guys, look at what I built last night, and it's like
Like a potato cannon.
yeah. God, he's like a kid, like he's like always working on a science project. I want to adopt Bam. I would adopt Bam if his parents weren't so great.
You know, and like I know Bam is going through something really horrible right now, but we are talking about fashion, and it's really hard for me to not think about how much I want him to start a lingerie line and how much I want you to model it. Like, I think you guys should work together.
Wait, didn't he start one? Didn't he
He's just pretending that he's going to start one. Like, I don't think he's well.
We should reach out to him.
Yeah.
And say, like, this is how you make this.
This is
'cause
how
I
we
would
do it.
that.
I think that it would be an amazing collab.
Yeah. No, I'm on board. Bam, I know you probably don't watch the show. I don't think anybody affiliated with Jackass likes this show, but
they all watch it and they all talk shit.
yeah, I'm sure they know who we are. But Bam, if you're seeing this, I'll show off my body if you want me to model. Even though it's not, I would be more excited if it was Chris Pontius.
I know. But this might be your in.
It's true. Beggars can't be choosers.
You got a phenomenal Chris Pontius clip tonight. I feel like this was like,
oh my God, yeah.
Again, classic Chris Pontius, where it's just all body. Body.
No, he knows his strengths. There aren't many.
It's the one.
You cannot do this. Is like, I mean, I'm not gonna.
This was a European bit.
You could not do this bit.
This is a European bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in Europe?
Yes.
Because
it looked like Paris.
Yeah.
Like France.
Because he was like literally like chasing people around like with most of his clothes off and like little kids and stuff. And I feel like if you did that today, you'd immediately be put on a list.
The second shot of it was him running up behind a group of tourists and then posing. I almost said terrorists. He ran up behind a group of tourists and then he like freezes and they turn around and this old man is like 2 feet from him and it's just a shot of this old man staring him down.
Well, that was the real brilliant of the bit. It's like he wasn't really doing a good job of being a human statue at all.
No. And at a certain point, he just gives up and he's like, oh, and like runs after all these families.
I feel like you see so much joy in both him and all of the people he's chasing with the little arms up, like cartoon, like monster jog. I don't know what that motion
all the way up
called.
until the little kid that he made cry. He made like a little boy.
But the mom seemed like fine with it.
Yeah.
And you hear like a producer in the background that's like, stop. And like, I can only imagine it was like Spike Jonze, who was like, no.
No.
Children cry. You don't want that.
It's not the bit.
We actually do need to come up with a name for that run that he does, because it's like a prance. It's like a prance dance.
It's like,
if
here
a
comes
crab
Dad
only
to eat
had
the
two
kids.
bottom legs.
What?
Like, if a crab only had 2 bottom legs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's because it's a bounce side to side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I it's amazing. It's amazing how much like every single bit is just that.
It's just
And I get why people think it's
Uncle
a bit
Chris
that I'm
coming to get
attracted
ya.
to him and that he's my favorite person, because I recognize that he doesn't have a lot. I recognize that he doesn't have the most range.
You know what you want.
I have specific taste. Kenny Omega, who looks like Chris Pontius. Basically, anybody that looks like Chris Pontius, any guy that looks like Chris Pontius, I will sleep with.
I think
And that's a promise.
Yeah.
Unless you're a guy. So it's impossible.
Chris Pontius has like what I imagine is like classic clown charm. That he mostly just like dresses a little silly, and then brings a lot of smiles to people's faces without doing anything that like truly scares anyone in the way that like some of the others do.
Yeah, I think that's why this bit works, because like, I don't know, he's like laughing as he's chasing people, which is still kind of like, again, like, I think like if Eric Andre was just nakedly chasing people laughing.
But Eric Andre's not sweet.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is like that's why maybe it works. And like you said, it's European,
Yeah.
and they don't give a shit there. Anything flies in Europe.
Anything.
That's what this means. This was coined in
Yeah. That means
Europe.
this or any other thing.
Kahlua.
Kahlua.
Nate Foston. Cut this part.
Okay. Oh, I actually remembered. I actually did have a different favorite bit. Can I say a different favorite bit?
I guess.
Yeah.
Can I
You're allowed.
please? My favorite bit was actually the very first bit.
Oh.
It was the hot dog bit with Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn is in a hot dog costume. He's trying to ride a bike. He keeps falling over. It's really fun, old-timey music. And I was content with that. I was like, this is great. This is enough for me. But then once he's fallen over, they come and they squirt mustard all over his face.
Which sucks. I mean, mustard, like, I'll put mustard. I love a good hot dog. A lot of people know
He's
this
a
about
hot dog.
me.
You gotta put mustard on a hot dog.
But, like, a lot of it in your face?
You have to. He's a hot dog. Looks like a hot dog. You have to.
I was excited that we started the night on a Ryan Dunn bit because this is personal opinion. Ryan Dunn is like, that's my boy in all of this. I have a fondness for Johnny Knoxville, but at the end of the day, like Ryan Dunn he's so sweet and he gets things done. He always ends up doing the bits that are like, oh, you're going to go in the sewage trough. That's what's going to happen today.
He does it with a smile.
Or he's like, I don't want to do this.
And he does it anyway.
Yeah.
Because you know that Ryan Dunn is the friend that like, if you for any reason murdered someone, he's going to help you hide the body. Like he will.
Absolutely. Do you
He's
think
going to be sad about it, but
yeah, he's going to be really sad, but he would be like, oh man, oh. Okay.
He's definitely, Bam Margera's definitely killed somebody that Ryan Dunn helped hide. Allegedly.
And it was
Parody.
himself.
Parody. This is satire.
Carrie, would you if you were going to go on a date with any of the Jackass guys, which one would it be?
It
in
could
my
be
heart
a
of
friend
hearts-
date too. Sorry.
It could be a friend date, yeah.
I feel like in my heart of hearts, this is just going off of my history in general. The Knoxville would be the person to ask me on a date, and it would go really poorly. The relationship would burn out really hot and fast. And then the Ryan Dunn would be the person that I don't know if I want to be or I want to be in love with or what's happening there. But
Yeah.
I would always regret having hooked up with the friend first.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the real truth of any answer to that question is you would sleep with the wrong one first and then make, because like I think I would, you've often said like when you were younger you would have probably dated Bam Margera and he'd be mean to you.
He'd be really mean to me.
I think maybe that's maybe only a couple years ago for me. But yeah, and then I would like then I'd reach a point in the relationship like, should have asked Pontius.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the one that maybe the universe was just telling you, like, you would have ruined this. Like, it's better that we keep it this way, that we set this boundary now.
That's a good answer. That's a detailed answer.
Yeah. We had another.
That's just off the cuff.
No, our show's entirely scripted. This is
Yeah, you got your script, right?
Yes.
Yep.
The third version?
No.
That's why this is bumpy today. I thought
no.
Some of my ums were different. Some of the times where I've hid my face.
We're
in
very
shame.
anti-improv here. We say no to each other's bits. We firmly reject. Well, I just watch Vera run off onto the side, and I'm like, toodaloo.
We kind of do. I mean,
but it's more fun for me to just watch you kind of burn out and like burn hard.
No, I appreciate it.
And then you stare at me.
It's my brand. My brand is I cuck myself. We had another hot dog bit tonight with, hey, speak of the devil,
My
Bam
ex-boyfriend.
Margera, your ex-boyfriend.
Puppy love.
Who was skateboarding.
Too well.
Not a good bit because he's the best skateboarder
He's
alive.
just really good at it.
Yeah, I love the takeaway I got from that was just that I love that they are so cost effective. Like, you can tell that one of them bought a hot dog costume and they wore that hot dog costume to hell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's why guys like you and I aren't famous.
That's right.
Because we're always buying
Too
new
many
outfits.
Although I'm going to turn around and say that Jackass buys a lot of outfits. Johnny Knoxville is definitely guilty of wearing a lot of outfits.
But they get some mileage. I mean, like, I feel like I've seen that like suit of armor fucking 15 times.
That's true.
Like in separate bits.
I think that. Oh, how many times do you think he's walked into the bedroom of a woman in that suit of armor?
In my heart, I know that Johnny Knoxville has a second garage at whatever fancy house he has. And in that second garage, it's just all Jackass, like costumes and set pieces. And he goes in there and he probably gets kind of emotional sometimes.
Yeah, he just has a beer and he like sits in a lawn chair and looks at it. And there's also like, like old jazz posters and like 1920s film posters in there.
But those are on the walls. Those are on the walls behind all this stuff.
Behind
so he has to dig through.
Behind like pirate costumes and a tiny cannon.
There's the poo terrarium or something. Or
he's got like an old phonograph next to the poo terrarium. And he like puts on an old LP and it's like a sad crooning song. And then he like gets dressed up in like a sailor outfit.
I mean, look, I don't want to like but I think you both are projecting a little bit.
No. What? No.
I know for a fact that if you get fuck you money, you will build like a little Ember Night museum next door to you.
I've thought about an Ember museum so many times. There's so much shit that I haven't thrown out because I'm like, well, but we're going to hang this at an exhibit because people are going to want to walk through and see this. And it's like a piece of, like, it's like a note that I wrote.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way.
I have like Ziploc bags stuffed full of notes that I wrote in my early 20s. And I'm like, this is going to be in a book. Mm-hmm. And they're like bad.
There are costumes that I put together like 10 minutes before a party, and I'm like, I'll never throw it away.
You need it.
I'll need this for someday.
You're gonna need it.
You never know. Yeah, like I have like a Shrek costume that like I bought like 10 years ago.
I
need it because I've used it I haven't used it frequently, but in that 10-year span, I've used it multiple times. It's come in handy multiple times.
And that gives continuity to your work for it to pop up over and over.
That's true.
You know?
I think that also might be the most used Shrek costume maybe ever, except for someone who might have like a Shrek kink.
Well, well,
and we're not saying, but you know,
I think there was a Broadway version of Shrek that looks really fucked up too, like not quite Good Morning America, Charlie Brown Halloween costume vibes, but kind of. You know what I'm talking about, right? You've never seen like Al Roker as like Charlie Brown. It's fucking so I'll show you after this. We're showing a picture of it right now.
We're showing a picture of it right now.
I'm shooting out pictures.
Me too.
Of the Today Show. You're a Jackass expert. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm very familiar with like both of these images, so I'm all about it. The human as Shrek is particularly upsetting because it's like a little too close to real, but like not far enough away from human.
Yeah.
It's just not. It makes you think too much about like what Shrek would actually look like if he were real.
I think every knockoff Shrek is scary. Like all the like YouTube like CGI YouTube poop kind of Shreks. Like every Shrek rendition that's not OG Shrek is like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I feel like there has to be a new word for it because there's uncanny valley for like if it's like almost human but not enough or too much. You like that one little divot in there, and that absolutely exists with like characters as well, where like Sonic the Hedgehog, that was a great example where you didn't want to see Sonic like that.
No,
that wasn't how Sonic should look.
No,
I think that might have been. That was such a bad character design, and Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the best designed characters of all time, in my opinion. Like, I mean, he was like made in a boardroom. He was definitely like, I want to say like the equation that they came up with for Sonic the Hedgehog was like Bill Clinton plus like Michael Jackson, and like there was somebody else, but like that aside, one of the best designed characters of all time. I just don't understand how you fuck it up that bad. I realize this is like a year old.
Pandemic, it does not count.
Yeah,
it
that's
came out
true.
yesterday.
Which Jackass guy is Sonic the Hedgehog?
Knoxville, I think. No, Bam.
No, I was thinking probably Bam.
Bam, yeah.
Too human. It's like too human. That's how I see it. I almost feel like it's Danger Aaron.
Interesting.
Where he is adjacent but like still in another world.
Did you see Danger Aaron tonight with the ice skates trying to do it safely? He was trying to like walk with sticks, and he still fucking fell on his ass. He still ate shit.
Could have told you that was gonna happen though. Because
he was like, "Here I am, the stunt man, doing it safely."
I want nothing but good things for Danger Aaron, but I also think that like he's one of the figures in the show that I'm most concerned with, like self-esteem throughout the show.
Yeah, totally.
I think that some of them like they're doing it by their own volition. I think that there's a couple that I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like,
I retroactively worry about Dave England just because I think he is more brilliant than people gave him credit for. But I would tend to agree.
Danger Aaron gets the shit end of the stick every time. They fucking hate him.
It's probably why he's not in the show that much, because it's not really that fun.
Right. Yeah. I think I think with Dave England, he's got a little bit more of a vibe. Like he's got a loving network on the outside.
Yeah.
There's part of me with Danger Aaron where I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. I wonder
are
what
you guys
his
just only
is.
friends and you're mean to him?
They really are mean.
Yeah.
They're really mean to him.
Oh, whatever.
They just like pull out his tooth. And, well, okay.
People have been mean to me, and look at me. I'm fine.
You are cool. Oh, can we talk about Magnet?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Johnny Knoxville waltzes in his suit of armor. He's like, here I go, I'm going to get picked up by a giant magnet, ha ha ha. And then he for some reason, he lets the magnet touch his fingers, like the joints of his fingers.
Well, he used a hub. He's like he grabbed a hubcap and used the hubcap to get the hubcap connected to the magnet. And
the hubcap connected to the magnet.
And then he probably was cutting into his fingers.
Yeah, it was probably cutting into his fingers, and he's being lifted by the joints of his finger. Like the way that was lifting his body weight must have been so painful. And he's just screaming, "No, stop, 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 stop!" But it's like so loud that they can't hear him. And someone behind the camera is like, "Stop, stop, stop."
But the suit didn't, because he was wearing a suit of armor, and it wasn't magnetized. I guess it wasn't.
It was wrong.
Why are some metals able to be magnetized? And do you know why some can?
This goes back to how
do they
work? Think about science.
Yeah.
I have no idea, because you would think that they would at least have checked down the list of metals that are magnetic, and they would have checked if that suit was one of those metals.
But you know that Johnny Knoxville just showed up in the suit of armor that he owns, and he was like, "Let's have this get picked up."
Yeah.
Let's go find a giant magnet. I already have the suit.
Yeah. I can almost guarantee that there's never research that goes into these bits.
The research is what you see on camera.
Yeah.
That's the research.
Yeah.
They're doing it.
It's largely why this show is really it's
science, and it counts as a science credit.
Yeah, it's that is
it's a good idea.
If you're in college watching and you need some bullshit science credit, you should use this show for class credit.
I'll tutor your kids. I'll show them how the horse farts.
I'll show them how the horse farts. That is going to be education in America eventually. It's going to be so bad here that will be.
Dude,
it's using practical events as opportunities for
practical events. Bobby has left the room. Bobby's like, "Okay, goodbye."
Probably because I'm being a little mean. I almost called him Billy earlier.
I don't think that. I don't think
that's
you
connected?
were being mean to Bobby. No.
Do you think that was connected at all? That's why he left.
So. No. He loves you.
What if he left the show because
you called him Billy? Yeah. He would have left me by now. But speaking of Dave England, then they found a better suit, but Johnny Knoxville didn't want to wear it because it wasn't his sexy suit.
I feel like it's not just that. It's because Johnny Knoxville kind of hurt himself.
Yeah.
And wouldn't do the bit again. Pretty boy would not do the bit again. Who comes in? The fucking greatest stuntman who ever lived.
Yeah.
Fucking Dave England.
Danger Dave. Sorry, Aaron. It's Danger Dave.
The moment where they introduce that it's gonna be Dave doing the bit the second time around, I was like, of course it is.
Yeah.
It went so poorly the first time that Johnny Knoxville's ego fingers, who knows what was damaged, but something was damaged, and he was like, no, it's gonna be someone else who wants to get hurt.
He was like, I'm not gonna wear the trash can.
I liked the trash can. It reminded me of if you've ever seen a high school production of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a Tin Woodsman vibe.
I just in my mind watched all of The Wizard of Oz really fast with both Johnny Knoxville wearing his sexy suit of armor and then with Dave England wearing trash can suit of armor, and it's better with Dave England. I just ran the simulation in my head really fast, and I was like, "Nah, it's got to be Dave."
Computer, run the simulation.
Let's get the ratings on both of these options.
I love that Ember has a program inside their brain where they're able to run simulations and recast movies.
That one was easy.
That was on deck.
Can you imagine how annoying Johnny Knoxville would be in that as the Tin Man? So deeply.
I would pay top dollar to watch all of the Jackass boys
in Wizard of Oz.
In the Wizard of Oz. That would be incredible. It feels like that's within our reach.
What?
I feel like if anyone though, Knoxville would end up being the Scarecrow. I feel like.
Yeah.
Or no?
He's much
would
more
he
a
be the
Scarecrow.
lion?
No, he would. See, he wouldn't agree to do it unless he's the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
This man would not be in the film.
Bam Margera is definitely Dorothy.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
He's definitely Dorothy. Which, yep, absolutely. And then
Jeff
you've got
Tremaine is the wizard.
the wizard. The wizard. Yeah. Yeah, and then Dave can be the Tin Man, and Steve-O is a flying monkey.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
God.
100% flying monkey though.
And 100% Danger Erin is the witch that gets the house that falls on her.
Oh, the lion has to be Ryan Dunn. He even looks a little bit like the lion.
Yeah. But funny enough, Wee Man is not one of the Munchkins. They're all played by Preston. And they shrink him down.
Yeah, it's like the Tim Burton version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Exactly.
which is a good creative choice in that movie, by the way. That he made. Like, I think that movie gets a really bad rap because like it's later Tim Burton, but like I kind of like how fucked up it is.
It's a very strange movie.
Yeah,
you didn't change it, so this is basically we're talking.
It's
about
my
the Wizard
podcast.
Of Oz.
I can talk about Tim Burton if I want to.
Deal with it.
That's true.
Deal with it. Okay.
Speaking of Steve-O, we got a bit tonight that was just Steve-O dressed up like a security guard.
We loved it.
Oh yeah.
We loved
I
it.
loved it, but like it wasn't. I loved it because it was literally just like, oh, what if Steve-O had a job as like a security guard? He didn't prank. He didn't do anything. He just went up to people and pretended.
I wish that he had messed with more cops.
Yeah.
I want to see him walk into police stations and be like, "Let's go, Steve." And well, that's his name, but like if he just like started, he was like, "Here I am, it's me, Sergio," and they're like, "That's the wrong uniform. You don't work here." Like, I wish he did it a little bit, but I wish he had literally just put himself. I mean, it's vastly illegal, but
yeah. Yeah, it just, I don't know. It's just like,
I guess he didn't go as hard as I would have liked.
there was just like, I don't know. I'm not criticizing him. Because again, I liked it. I liked to see it, but I think it was a nice reminder of why Steve-O doesn't usually do these bits.
When he goes up to like a different security guard and he's like, it's my turn, you're done. And they're like, I just started. And he's like,
there was
oh.
also, I feel like there was something about it where it felt like he really enjoyed it. Like he came out of that
loved
being
it.
like, yeah, that was great. Like I had such a good time. And it was like, Steve-O, do you just want that job?
Yeah.
Like, is that what this is?
Steve-O just wants a normal life where he isn't
Getting
fucking
hurt.
Steve-O.
Why do I have to be Steve-O?
Yeah.
He just
doesn't
wants
have
to not
diarrhea
put
on
leeches in his
himself at
eyes.
any point. Like he just drives around in a golf cart over speed bumps.
He's like, yeah, dude, that was amazing. I drove
He's
a
like,
golf
where do I
cart.
punch out? I'm gonna be back tomorrow.
I had a friend.
In his dreams, he comes back there tomorrow,
Yeah.
but in reality, he's getting shot with like a pellet gun.
Yeah, he's like running from a shark, like, and he thinks that he has to. He thinks that that's, and he does.
I mean, he's good at it. He's really good at it.
But that's what's so interesting about this bit too, is like the extremes that he goes to prove himself as like worthy on this show.
Yeah.
And then this, where it's just like, oh, he's just enjoying dressed up.
He was
being
just like,
dressed up as security.
I talked to a normal guy.
Yeah, it is a huge contrast between like the other options that are like, I'm gonna like literally have a shark bite me, or you know, I'm gonna convince this teenager who it's also his first day on the job.
That's so cute.
It's
Yeah.
But speaking of first days on the job,
Oh yeah.
the one in the blood cleanup, the house cleanup, it seemed like
Woof.
that was also a young man who did not expect any of that.
No.
Yeah, it was, you know, it's weird because like I feel like I've watched like people like Eric, Andre, or like whatever do like bits like that are actually like way more fucked up maybe it's just because you're just watching this all just play out in a wide shot. But like, I just kind of felt bad for the dude the entire time because he also like kept trying to do the right thing and call his boss. Like anytime they're trying to get people to like go along with like these murders or like crime scenes, like people never want to.
Huh?
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah, I don't like that style of prank.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, maybe career suicide to say on here. I don't really like Nathan for you. I don't like I'm sorry.
It's a tough one.
I don't care.
I don't like cornering regular people in a room, like not on the street, like in their place of work where they're worried about their paycheck and like making them scared. Like it's just not quite my vibe.
Yeah, I think what makes me unsettled the whole time is that I wonder about the post-prank aftercare. Like what kind of stuff do they go through with those people after they inform them that it was a prank? Do they inform them it was a prank?
Yeah.
I hope so. And if they need like a counseling session to like work through that, because for that, however long that young man was in that apartment, which it looks like a normal person's house.
Yeah.
That's
like
somebody's house. There's no crew there.
Yeah.
It's like he lived that. Like that's a real experience.
And if he was in a fucked up position again, would he doubt his instincts and think maybe it's a prank? Maybe like would he then for the rest of his life not know what's real?
Like, does he have PTSD now? Yeah. I mean, I'm glad we're talking about this because while I was watching it, I felt very lame because at first I was about to say, just to the people in the room, of course, that like, oh, I wish they would show like, you know, like Jeff coming out at the end, like clapping, like, it's just a bit, like, and like, I feel like I'm gonna lose some like alt comedy points for saying that because I know that does kind of ruin.
I don't like that kind of comedy.
But yeah, it just bums me. Although I did like that this one had a lot of layers. Like Knoxville just gets completely naked at one point.
And just falls down the stairs. I liked when the two of them get in a fight to escalate the scene. They start like punching each other and the guy's like, I got pepper spray, I'll break it up. And then all of a sudden they're not fighting. They're like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, actually.
Knoxville falling down the stairs naked, I think hit so hard because if you look at the layout of the apartment, the guy did not even see it. It was Knoxville falling down the stairs.
He did that for himself.
Just for whoever the other guy is, like the guest star. That was for them. No one else saw.
They really just wanted to roll around on the stairs naked and fight each other, but then they felt like they had to add a murder as an excuse. Not true.
No, most of this show is just finding an excuse to be naked around your friends.
It's true.
And cis men need that safe space, and I'm glad they have
it. What if? But what if? Would be crazy.
There was part of me that like watching that, because you can obviously tell it's one of their homes. Like that's not like a rented set or anything. And I feel like it's like the guest star of the episode, his home, and his girlfriend was gone for the weekend.
Yeah.
And the boys were like bullshitting and they're like, wouldn't it be funny if I rolled down your stairs naked and you caught me at the bottom? And then they had to like work their way.
They have to reverse engineer. Every Jackass bit is just reverse engineered from them just wanting to hang out naked with each other. I will say there was one skit we watched last week where it was just them sitting around in a circle, just rolling balls
things into each other's nuts.
Like that was definitely one that definitely just was that.
That was it.
Oh, I mean, I guess we should hit each other in the nuts too.
Yeah. They're like practically touching toes with their legs spread out all in a big circle.
Making a lot of eye contact the whole time.
It's coming. I'm going to roll it now. I'm going to roll it now.
Uh-oh.
Here it comes. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to roll it now.
I've done a lot of things. I've been like every combination of gay at this point. but like I don't think I would do that. I would.
You never had a friend group like that?
And
your television buddies didn't sit around touching toes with your legs spread?
Yeah.
Rolling stuff into your junk? No? No?
So
Nobody?
I spent my like from 12 to 18, I was living on a street where it was like a pack of boys. There were a pack of boys that lived on the street, and we still would go outside and hang out with each other. And that seems like exactly the kind of thing that they would be doing, which I can't tell if it was Jackass that drew me to them or them that drew me to Jackass.
Sure.
But either way, like, I remember there were times where all of them would, their favorite game was that all of them would sit independently, and whoever could get a boner the fastest without touching anything or moving anything was the winner.
And
like,
yeah, we play. So as somebody that was socialized as a boy for most of her life, like that is something that men don't talk about at all. But like, I feel like male puberty is just like mostly that. Like it's like, cause like I remember doing that with some friends. I also remember playing a game when it was slightly younger, but like where we would turn the lights off, and it was like it had like the worst, like most homophobic name in the world, and I'm not going to say what it was, but the game was just literally like, it was tag, but we'd grab each other. It was just an excuse to grab each other,
and literally the name was homophobic, so therefore
it's okay.
Yeah, and acknowledged.
Yeah, but like now I mean I just wish, I don't know, I wish I had just been gay with my friends. Like I wish we had just,
you guys could have just played it.
Yeah,
for fun.
Yeah, why did we have to make it a game?
Well, it's more taboo. It's more stimulating that way.
Scary. It's super scary. Yeah. And if you make it aggressive, then it's not so scary anymore. Then it's societally approved.
Yep.
Or a competitive thing. That was the boner thing. Like I was an outside observer in all of that. Like I never felt sexualized in any of it. It was just like the boys are sitting around trying to get boners by not moving.
Yeah. Yeah, no. They didn't need your help.
No. I was an automatic disqualification if they looked at me. So that was incredible. But for a lot of it, it just seemed like it was like a way to compete with the others that like definitely involved sexuality and genitalia. Like the other game was peeing while in weird positions. The weirdest way you could pee, that would be the winner.
That would be the winner.
And it felt...
You know, the winner is the one who pees the weirdest. So...
I peed so many times in front of my male friends growing up. Like, I don't understand. And, like, I don't understand. Like, none of those men talked to me after I came out as trans. I wonder if that almost changed everything for them. If at that point they were like, oh, maybe it was beyond exploring.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting that crash and burn. That one felt real good.
Well, I just want to give it its space.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I wasn't there. I don't know. Let's take it back. What's the correct choice? Well, because I honestly, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, what were they thinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's just, I just think, I don't know. I just think in general, like, I think like cis men need to have like their own sexual revolution kind of, but like, I mean, not in any way that they shouldn't be allowed to come up with it, because it would be the most fucked up thing in the world, but something that does, because I feel like so much aggression and shit like comes from that same mindset of like boys fool around with each other when they're growing up, and then one of your friends happen to just be a secret girl. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Gosh, I feel like this is such a tangent in general. I was going to keep talking about how like kids are so gay. Like all kids are so gay, and we really shut all of that out and we turn it into Jackass.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it's, I mean, I don't know what it's like now, because I also don't really have like any friends with like kids yet that are like in that age group, but I would be curious to know if it's like the same thing, because like I don't really think there are things like Jackass, but I imagine like boys still do like the ironic like hit each other in the nuts and Period.
Yeah, I think the physical pain is like just part of the human condition. Like we really love watching other humans get like boo-boos that are not like life-threatening. If they get life-threatening, that's like the cutoff of like, oh, now you might have like a dark part of your personality.
Yeah.
But prior to that, you're like, aha, it's America's Funniest Home Videos.
This we had one last bit tonight that I like. This would be another bit that would like maybe normally make me feel uncomfortable because it's just kind of like disrupting people at their place of work. But like, I just think it was like a funny sight gag. It was like it was called Chemical Spill, and it was Knoxville and I don't know who it was, but they were carrying like this
Rick
tank.
Orange.
There we go, carrying a tank.
Well, you did get the script.
And they dropped the tank and gas just starts coming out. And they did it by some construction workers who immediately freaked out.
Just like jumped over the caution tape.
Yeah.
Just got the heck out of there, YouTube algorithm that I don't say the F word. I've said the F word like 6 times tonight.
Wait, fuck?
Yeah, apparently you get like deprioritized in the algorithm on YouTube.
There are so many other things about this show
That's
that
true.
would like.
What are you talking
look
about?
at the
This
two
is
hosts.
the most watched show on YouTube, and we're the richest people.
Two like little gay people with mullets.
2 rich mullets. Very wealthy.
2 rich mullets would be the name of our reality show. Bobby, that's what you're producing next. A lot of Bobby shout outs today from me.
Shout out, Bobby. Shout out to Billy. We love you, Billy.
Has Jackass influenced your memeing at all, do you think? I'm sure that's a question you get asked a lot.
Me.
All the time. It's constantly coming up.
I'd like to speak with you about your
no,
memes.
I feel like in some ways it has, in the way that in the last year, I've watched a lot of Jackass just playing it through for the whole day while I'm like browsing images on the internet and trying to think of like a joke that I'm going to put on an image. So I'm sure that like in the way that I've structured a joke, it's been at least partially influenced by like the structure of a joke on Jackass. But I think that also on the other side of that is just like Jackass is the show that you do not want to think about while you're watching it. Like you lay on your couch and you're like, wow, watch them do like a bunch of things I would die if I had to do. Like I would hate to do that.
But that's why I do think it is kind of a good white noise show in a lot of ways. Like, cause like I also do that I used to do that a lot with like true crime and conspiracy theory podcasts, but then I think it fucked up my brain a little too much, so I had to stop. But yeah, that's why I think this show is kind of weird, because like I don't really think it's how you should watch Jackass.
Yeah, like with a pencil and paper. Like
taking notes and then talking about it for an hour afterwards.
Let's really get into this. Well, that's why we're the only ones who do it. This is for the hardcore fans. This is for people who really want to unpack.
I'm gonna be honest, like I'm coming in as a fan. Like I've watched all of the Jackasses. That's also recently. Like it took me a while to watch the Half movies, but I just needed more bits. But like I've watched the Dumb documentary. If there was a Jackass documentary, I would watch that too. Dumb is the Big Brother documentary.
Yeah.
But like,
have you seen the 1.5s and the 2.5, like the 0.5s?
Oh yeah, no, and like I mean that's why when I found out that you guys were making a podcast about Jackass, I was like, oh, someone out there is also still interested in this 20 years later.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they're. I guess we're just groundbreaking as usual.
As usual.
But,
you know, I will say I went back in the eyes like 5 minutes ago because we were talking about like childhood sexuality and pranks and stuff, and I was just like, oh, I had like very bad experiences as a child with like nudity and stuff, but like because I was socialized as a girl and it was very different. It's like more normal for girls to, it's like more accepted for girls to hook up with each other, but it's not for the girls, it's for the guys who are watching or who know about it. It's like supposed to be sexy and not like for my pleasure. And so I was just thinking about, like, I was trying to abstract in my mind if there had been a show like Jackass that had women on it or like queer people on it, like what would that have meant for me being like naked around my friends or like owning my nudity and stuff like that. And like I kind of had that renaissance then as an adult in alt comedy, not as a kid, but then later as an adult, like ripping my clothes off and just being horrible and making a mess. And I think it's like a very important part of self-development to like for me at least, and like
well, that's what I was gonna say is you're already you're filling in that
I filled
gap.
it in later.
yeah but I mean and for one reason or another but yeah, no, I mean I think that's very true.
I guess what I'm saying is like, okay, maybe I don't love the current prank shows that are out there, but I think there's room for a new prank show that could have like, that could be more acknowledging of maybe some of the things that Jackass was repressing, but also take it further in some other directions. Like I think that some of this, I think it's maybe time.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there should be like a non-male heavy Jackass, and I feel like if you approach Jeff Tremaine and Johnny Knoxville about it, like if you came in with a cast of people that were willing to defile their bodies in like similar ways, but more conscious, I guess more conscious, more like with the times. Well, I think you could sell it.
I think you and I should do this.
I think we should.
I think we should. But it should just be us doing nice things. It's like reverse prank. It's just a Christian prank show. It's just two gay Christians.
I know that Jeff Tremaine, I don't think would go for it because Jeff didn't want any girls on the show. He said that girls getting hurt isn't funny. And like anytime they would film a bit with, because the guys did film bits with women, and then he wouldn't let them put it in.
We don't count as full girls. You're very queer, and
you think Jeff will go for it?
Yeah, I'll speak in a lower register when we go.
Me too. Jeff,
I'll detransition so we get the job.
We are not. I'll do my Bernie Sanders.
Jeff, I mean, I feel like they just need to be shown. Maybe it's not presenting it to them. Like they just need to be shown that
it's time for a Jackass
like cis
that is
men
for the people
are capable of doing all that stuff. Because like I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, what kind of Jackass type stuff have I done in my life? And like, I've gotten stupid tattoos just for funsies. Like, I've done many things that have jeopardized my health, not in the same ways, but like we are an untapped market of fools that are just aching.
Jeff, we are an untapped market of fools.
Why didn't you bust this out when he was still in the primary? I feel like he would have won. I feel like we could have had it. I feel like I would have gotten my goddamn stimulus.
I take responsibility. It is my fault.
I have a gift I would like to give Ember.
No, a gift. I don't know what it is.
Ember always gives me gifts on the show, and I finally have one.
I want to get.
I'm sorry.
So
this
bad.
is like really.
Oh no.
So I want you know what? Just you unwrap it and open it and pull it out and show it to everybody. So this is a bag from Tokyo, actually.
It feels like a chain. Oh. Is it one item?
I think there's a couple in there.
Oh.
So
what is? Oh.
A few months ago, Ember got a CKY wallet, and I said, you know what would look good on that wallet is a chain. And I knew I had this. I knew I had this in my closet because I was going through some stuff a few years ago. But you...
This is such an intense chain.
I like it too because it's got crosses on it.
It does have crosses on it.
That is very him. That is very him.
Chains. How do they go together?
It's two chains, like
it's two chains.
That's a wrapper, right?
It's two chains. That's two chains. The wrapper.
So yeah, I finally found this. I looked for it literally for weeks. You look so cool. You got to stand up though for the camera.
This is the wrong way to wear it for sure. But
Well, this is just a test run.
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
beginning. And then this part goes over in my wallet.
Yeah.
In my wallet, and then it goes here.
And this is so people don't take your things.
They'll never take this. They'll never get it from me.
They also see you walk down a you know, like a dark alley with that on. People will know you're a neighborhood tough and not to fuck with you.
They'll know that I'm sad. And I love the mall.
Now we know why
I love
I don't
it.
give you gifts.
I love it. Thank you so much. No, I love it so much.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It's so great. Thank you so much. I'm going to put it on my wallet. Well, where is my wallet? I'll put it in my wallet right after. Oh, Vera, that's so nice.
I'm sorry I don't have anything for you. But we just met,
it's
you know?
all right. I already own a wallet chain, so.
There we go. See, fate. Again, this is scripted.
Is your head okay? I hit your head when I leaned into you.
So I still can't feel most of my skull from FFS. So it's fine.
Amazing. Okay, sweet.
I got surgery a few months ago, as people who watch the show know. And I still can't feel like 90% of the top of my head.
I really think I'm gonna wear this a lot.
I think you should. I think you look really cool with it.
This is exciting. I think this is just what I needed.
I also just like the idea of you having like something that like is kind of noisy. So like when you enter the room, like I don't know, like it's almost like you have like a little bell on you, like a cat would or something.
You want to be prepared by the time I enter the room.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Should we wrap it up?
I guess, yeah. This has been so fun.
Yeah, you're so wonderful. Where can people find you? And do you have anything like you want? Any plugs or anything?
Honestly, no. I mean, people can, if they want to look at weird memes, my handle on Instagram is today was my birthday. Just all spelled out, no spaces or anything. But other than that, no, like I'm just excited to like bring you guys to them and cross-pollinate these markets at this point. Like I feel like there's a lot of people that I'm like
we know what you're
struggling for the
trying to
word,
say.
but, like, there's people that follow me that I'm like, oh, they would absolutely fuck with this. So I'm just excited to like direct them your way. That's what it comes down to.
Well, we appreciate that. And I also just appreciate that assessment of the show and us in general. Because it really is just, all of this is really the best description.
all of this. All of this.
I've seen people try to like intellectualize this.
It's like all of it.
Old school MTV. But it's why never mind.
It's edgy, but it's conscientious. Okay.
I mean, I understand it in the way that it's like, I don't know if I really resonate with like being a memer. I feel like it's not that.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to just like let something exist in like the way that it is. And
Yeah.
be like, it's what it is.
That's what this show, you know, I like that you said that too, just about, because like, I feel like, I don't know, it's like, I don't think like we look like necessarily the kind of people that you think of when you think of like who watches Jackass. And, you know, we had so many conversations before the show came out that was like, we don't want this to be it's for us too. But like, I don't know. I think it kind of is.
But
good.
it
It is. And it's like kind of okay that it's that, because like, I don't know, like I've talked to a lot of people that actually didn't watch the show before because they thought it was just for like douchebag bros.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I think like not even just Jackass, like I just think everything's so gatekeepy and like niche nowadays, and like all those walls got to be broken down, baby.
Yeah. Well, they don't even make any sense in the first place. We're all part of the same weird smushy blob.
Especially like things with like taste. Like I've been getting so. I mean, look, sorry, I bring up like Star Wars and superhero movies every week on this show, and Ember just wants to blow their brains out when I do. But I add some animation, add blood animation, spraying.
And it just lands on Vera's face, and then it stays there for the rest. It
Yeah.
has to stay. Track it.
Track it to my face and put it for the rest of the episode. Billy. Billy McCoy.
I love you.
But like I just seen so many like, oh, Snyder Cut is for boys, toxic men love superheroes, and it's like I love superhero movies more than anything on the planet. I love Batman so much, and I am not a boy.
That is true.
I've got big stupid tits, and I love superheroes. Don't use that in the trailer.
Deal with it. That's the whole. That's the whole trailer. Boom. Welcome to Jackass. Well, I hope that you'll come back again. It's so fun having you on.
I would love to. Honestly, any opportunity to talk about Jackass. No one understands it in the same way. It's hard to find a group that gets it.
Truly.
You're lovely. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and please stay safe.
Please stay safe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll be in my apartment. You guys too. And I'm excited to see this come out.
All right.
Bye.
See you soon. And this has been Welcome to Jackass with Ember and Vera. And we hope you have a pleasant night.
I want to do this voice you're doing, but I just can't.
I don't know what this voice is.
It's kind of...
It's a quiet
Did you ever
one.
watch... Oh, no, you didn't have cable. Did you watch
It's
Doug?
becoming a Beatles.
Did you watch Doug growing up?
No, I didn't have a TV.
It's kind of how there was this band on the... Well, they were called the Beats, probably because it was the Beatles.
Were the Beats.
Just...
I'm P.
I want you to cut everything I've said today.
I'm Jin. And I'm Ringo.
Jin?
I'm changing the names a little bit.
Jim's my favorite Beatle.
Judge.
Judge.
On the Beats.
That's how they would never have gone. Like the Beatles would have never gone anywhere if there was a guy named Judge. Judge Reinhold of the Beatles.
Me, Judge. Yeah.
Oh man,
Thank you for what? What?
Nothing.
What?
You're ending the show.
No.
I was just gonna ask you if you had a favorite Beatle, but then
Yeah, it's Ringo.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think of like modern Ringo? Like peace and love, peace and love, peace and love.
It's kind of dumb.
But that's gonna be us though.
That's me. Yeah.
I like watch him and I'm like, yeah, he's so like fucking cringe, but like he just became more Ringo.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I don't really think I have a favorite Beatle.
Really?
I like the Beatles.
That's it's like who cares what's the favorite one? Like who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Just leave people alone. You don't need to define your personality based on your favorites.
Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna have T-shirts soon.
We probably stopped recording 20 minutes ago. Okay, have a good night, America, and fans who don't live here.
That was one of our best episodes.
This airs in the morning.